boxing back rack. Got from my 2020 Dodge Ram. Instructions. Tools you're gonna need: a drill, 1/4-inch drill bit, a wrench, Phillip head, Allen, couple of Allen wrenches, 4mm, 5mm, 732s. Looks decent. This is kind of, I can see that getting broke. Something hits it. Still feels kind of thick. It's the same plate as the toolboxes. Let's see how thick that is. Looks decent. See what's in here. These brackets are bolted on. I'm gonna take these off. I think I'm gonna just take that off, sit it on the back of the truck, see how it's gonna look. Okay, these brackets, solid, it's light, so I'm guessing it's aluminum. So this is how it's sitting on here. Gap right there. But most of the glass is protected, which is my main concern. It seems to be alright. Alright, now hopefully I could put this on with the Tonneau cover. This thing looks pretty easy to put together. You this like this loose, and it looks like this end of the nuts will go into this channel here. Then you have this hole here, which you have to put the spacer in. Put your bracket on, and then you use this to tighten it, and then you tighten these. So you hold the rack up, set this in place, and then you put your bracket on. So I got my arm holding up the rack, I'm holding the bracket up with my hand. Set everything in place. Tighten up that screw on top. Now I'm going to hand tighten these. That's what it should look like. Another reason why I went with this rack is because of the brackets. I might still be able to put my Tonneau on top of this once I set it in place. So the next step is to take these and stick it on here. Guess that prevents water from coming in, but I'm not going to put that on yet. Then you got to take the cab rack, sit it back on the truck, and then these slots you need to line up with. Around this ram, you see how it has the stake hole? It needs to have that in the front. And these got plastic over it. I already lifted this up a little bit and I did fill the stake hole, so I'm gonna have to cut this out, then set my bracket on top, the cab rack, and then see if one of those slots line up with this. Alright, so this is how it sits with the bracket on. So I didn't bolt nothing down or anything. So you can see how much space that has there. Fairly large gap right here. And the instructions says to, there's a hole right here. I don't know if you can see it. You're supposed to drill into your truck bed and put a screw in there. I also got this too, so when I buy material, I wanted to lay the material this way and not have it hanging out the back. So I need to see if the top of the rack clears the top of the truck. Just cutting it real close. Okay, so I'm not checking for level. What I'm just checking to see the top of this is definitely gonna be hitting the top of the truck if I lay material straight across. So if I get one of those racks that's for the back, which I plan to do, it's gonna have to be lower than this so the material can sit like this off of the truck. But you can't put it the same height or it's just gonna be hitting the top of the truck. And this rack also came with a thing you put in here that you can slide back and forth to help hold material. And this is where the light sits at this height, but everybody's gonna be down low, so they'll still be able to see the light. I think I'm gonna wind up buying a piece of aluminum, spraying it black, and putting it across here just to help cover the glass right here. And as far as the stake holes, it looks like it's falling. The middle is like over here, and it says if it doesn't fall, and if one of these slots don't fall in the hole, you have to drill a 1/4 inch hole into the bracket. Okay, now for this space here, the instruction says to use this spacer, but it's still a little too short. I think I might have to probably buy some more of these, some bigger, longer. And same for these screws, barely touching what's there now. I'm not gonna be able to put the nut on there, especially if you line it up this way. If you line that up, the truck, your screws going all the way down, so these will be no good. And I will need at least a 1 inch spacer. So these things, or at least 2 of them put together. So I'll be taking this screw to Home Depot, Lowe's, seeing if I can get a longer one, and seeing if I can find some more of these. Also, as far as spacing it back, I think I'm gonna bring it back so I can still try to put my tonneau cover on here. I'm gonna slide the tonneau cover over and see how that fits in between these brackets. The gap here looks like it's about 1 inch away from the window glass, maybe. Now that's just about a 1/4 inch. Well, it won't hit the glass. It looks like it'll hit the back of the truck, not the glass. So I'm gonna put the tonneau cover on, see how that looks. So this is how the tonneau cover will fit on there. It'll fit. The only problem is rain getting into the bed. But it'll work. And the brackets that hold the tonneau cover, you will not be able to use those anymore. So you'll have to drill a hole, put some screws, some bolts in over here on the other side, and you might have a gap. So again, you'll have to get some of that foam, double-sided foam strip, put it on there. It's about as far as I can close it gap wise if I put a screw in. Set it also right here, rain come right here, go in these holes right into the bed of the truck. If that's the sacrifice you're willing to make. So that's what it looked like. So I think I'm gonna just keep it. This was just a test to see how it's gonna fit, how it looks. So I don't know what kind of tonneau cover you got, but I got the cheapest one. Also that strip, that foam strip that came with the bracket, now I can see exactly where to put it. So I'm gonna try to put it right here where it can also help cover up. Some of those holes. Okay, to make my holes, I'm gonna cut this out. I'm gonna pre-drill some holes in here. Then I'm gonna use my Dremel and cut along the lines. So I got my drill bit. So I drill my holes. Now I'm gonna use the multi-tool to see. First I'm gonna do one line, see how good it cuts. If it starts bouncing around everywhere, then I'm gonna use the smaller Dremel and take my time. And that's how it turned out. So hopefully this anchor I put on here before doesn't get in the way. If not, I'm gonna have to remove it temporarily. And now I'm gonna just trim the edges, do the other side. Okay, now I'm gonna put a mark on the center where this thing needs to be. I'm gonna put it on this side so I can see it. And this is the part that goes on the bracket, and then it goes in here, and as you tighten it, this thing opens up almost like an anchor. Okay, I set it in place where it needs to be, and I just put this mark here so I can see how far it is from my center mark. And as you can see, I need to go about 3/4 from here, 3/4 up. So now set it back in place, line everything back up. Okay, I set it back in place. So now I make sure this is lined up good on both sides. Now I'm gonna make my center mark for the opening from here to there. I'm gonna just eyeball it. So I'll say the center mark is from here. So now I gotta go 3/4 up, put a hole around here somewhere. I'm gonna do the same on the other side. Need my marks. Now I'm gonna drill the holes and step up while I drill the holes. Step up on the bits, meaning I'll go from smaller to high. Okay, so I stepped up all the way to a 3/8 bit. It fits nice. Okay, now we put these on. I'm gonna put it on like this, but bottom of it. So you just take the tape off and put it on. This is how I'm gonna glue that on or stick it on. I just got it sitting on the truck. Okay, now you put these on. Put your washer on here. You stick it through the bracket, and then you put this on, and it should look like that. Okay, so I tighten these up. You can't lift that up for nothing. But these are still side to side, they're still loose. Again, gonna have to get longer bolts. I'm gonna see if I have some. And also for those white washer spaces, I'm gonna see if I have some left over from TV wall mounts. They usually have those pieces too, so I'm gonna see if I can find some, dig some up. Okay, here's some parts that I have from TV wall mount, and you see they come with some spacers, so probably have to use that combined with what came with it. Now I just gotta find a longer screw. Okay, so I was able to find the spacers from the old TV mount, and I dug these up, which will work perfect with the lock nuts that it came with. These are a little bit longer, so it'll be sitting right there. So now I gotta drill a hole onto there so I can be able to put the screw in. Turned out perfect. Okay, tighten these up. Pretty solid. I'm gonna put my Tonneau back on. Okay, so I got the Tonneau on there, but you can see it's hanging over a little bit. So I need to push it that way a little bit. With this Tonneau cover, it has these little things here that help hold a rubber band that wraps around the Tonneau once you roll it up. So it looks like I'm gonna have to cut this and find an alternative for those rubber bands. I could probably clip it onto something over here or something. So I'm gonna have to cut these just so I can push the Tonneau over some more. Right now, how I was sitting, the water definitely get in the bed. So my next step is to cut these. First, I'm gonna roll it up, see if I can disassemble it and just pull this out without having to cut it. Okay, I cut it. It's a way much better fit. Back here. So now just gotta bolt it in. Okay, now for this, I just put a self tapper straight through here and onto the bracket. So there it is, the cab rack with the Tonneau cover. Got it all down, secured. Oh, I forgot to put the pieces up top. Okay, now for these pieces, they go up top. You can slide it back and forth. Put this in, and these will go in the channel. There's grooves in it on top too, where these will go in. You slide it up, and then you can tighten it down. Turn off of this. Put your nut in there, slide it over. Put that in the groove. Then you put your handle on. Tighten it up. Okay, and you can see the tonneau rolls all the way back. So that's a plus. And then for these, you loosen it. Slide it to wherever your trim is or whatever. Tighten it. And it also has these holes you can put straps on. I don't know if I should keep these in the truck. Leave them on there.